So this is a video I wanted to make for a very long time. The Sims series just passed its 20th anniversary, and you guys might already know that The Sims 3 is one of my favorite games. Maybe my favorite game of all time. Being an avid lover of The Sims 3, I was so excited when The Sims 4 was announced. I watched all the trailers countless times and kept up with any news I could find. Then The Sims 4 released, and it instantly became my biggest disappointment in gaming. After trying one of the free trials back in 2015, I decided not to buy the game. Luckily for me, EA recently decided to give away the Sims 4 base game for free. I wonder what that says about the game. And that was a big help for this video, because a majority of the problems in The Sims 4 lie in the base game. Here are my reasons why I dislike The Sims 4. All Sims 4 footage is taken from my recent stream right here on YouTube. I don't want to seem like a nag, so before I go into the many reasons why I dislike The Sims 4, I thought I would share my favorite aspects of the game first. Create-A-Sim overall is vastly improved over The Sims 3, and as such, most of my positive points revolve around Create-A-Sim. Molding your Sims like clay is impossible in The Sims 3 without mods. You can make a Sim with mega muscles, a pudgy belly, or you can listen to your stream viewers and make the cursed queen, aka a mistake. Actually, my favorite aspect from Create-A-Sim was the option to use any hat with any hair. I can't tell you how much I want this in The Sims 3. Hats in The Sims 3 come with a select hair. This makes it super annoying as you have to find a hat with hair that matches your ideal look. Otherwise, your Sim could going from having luscious locks to being bald, just by putting on a hat. I did find one mod to make hats accessories in The Sims 3, but it's only for toddlers. So Sims 3 modders, get on this, please and thank you. Moving on, I love that you could choose your Sim's walk cycle. Even if most of them are goofy, it's still nice to have. Last of the big points, but I love that you can use any clothes from any section/gender. Being able to use clothes from the opposite gender or a different section removes so many restrictions that the previous game had. Also, options like these allow for the creation of transgender Sims, which is great for inclusion. Also great for inclusion was a hijab for female Sims to wear. Nice touch. Other things I enjoyed outside of Create-A-Sim are bars being in the base game, and the ability to place windows on any level of the wall. Last thing, but the game saves super fast, which is a huge improvement over The Sims 3 taking a few minutes to save. Before we hop into the negatives, I want to talk about build mode, which I'm neutral about. Personally, I prefer The Sims 3, but The Sims 4's build mode does some things right, like being able to search for any object without having to sort through a bunch of menus. Overall, build mode was fine. But I had one issue where a room was considered outside even though it was closed off. Apparently I was doing it wrong, but I've never had an issue with something as basic as making a room in The Sims 3. But yeah, like I already mentioned, besides that one issue, build mode was fine, and I've seen some of the awesome creations Simmers have made with it. This list is going to be in order of least importance to most. Let's start with a few build mode nitpicks. Besides the room thinking it was outside from earlier, I only have two issues with build mode. Diving boards and spiral staircases aren't in the game. Diving boards aren't the biggest deal, but I love spiral staircases in The Sims 3. They're so useful and stylish. Shame they aren't in 4. Moving on to some minor Create-A-Sim issues. Tattoos can't be layered in Create-A-Sim. One feature I love from The Sims 3 is the ability to place multiple tattoos in the same location. You can get some really cool designs by doing this. In The Sims 4, you're only allowed one tattoo per section. Next is the removal of the eyelash slider. So, eyelashes are tied to selecting a preset eye, which is really confusing. I loved being able to fine-tune my Sims lashes in 3. Another thing missing in Create-A-Sim is body hair for men. I'm sure most don't care for this, but I love making realistic Sims in The Sims 3, and I find myself using body hair quite often for my male Sims. Keeping it up with Create-A-Sim issues, I found navigating the menus to be tedious. In The Sims 3, all your menus are present on the left side of the screen. In The Sims 4, you have to click a specific part of the body, then your corresponding menus appear. Personally, I just want my menus to always be present. Next is the traits. You're only allowed to give 3 traits to your Sim, down from the previous 5 in The Sims 3. Actually, you could give your Sim up to 7 traits with the Sims 3 University Pack. Anyways, the Sims 4 base game only has 37 traits, while The Sims 3 has 64 traits in the base game. Maybe it was a placebo, but I didn't really notice the traits in action while playing The Sims 4. All my Sims felt the same to me, which is a feeling I've never faced in The Sims 3. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough. Moving on to some mild annoyances. Again, going in order of least important to most. First is that Sims take forever to eat. Sims in The Sims 4 take an hour to eat eggs and toast. What? Sims 3 Sims only take 20 minutes to eat. Watching The Sims eat in The Sims 4 wasn't entertaining either. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the silly animations in The Sims 4. I get it, the Sims series has never shied away from a humorous animation or two, but almost every animation in The Sims 4 feels like it's not meant to be taken seriously. I mean, who can take a Sim seriously when they argue like this? Well, those hips don't lie. It's kinda sad that I prefer the Sims 3 animations when most of them were actually just ported from The Sims 2. Last of the mild annoyances, but I found the emotion system to be kind of lame. Mess up one social interaction, embarrassed for 4 hours. Take one steamy shower, suddenly every romantic option that previously didn't work, now works. A shame that one of the most advertised features of Sims 4 is just kinda meh. I prefer the mood meter from 3. Before we get to the biggest reasons why I dislike The Sims 4, and why I never moved on from The Sims 3, I want to run through a few bugs I encountered in my recent stream. Placing a double bed against the wall would get my Sims stuck. This is particularly odd, because it was advertised that you could place a bed against the wall, and Sims would scooch over to their preferred side. Next is that filters for clothing were buggy, specifically for male formal outfits. Apparently on my end there were 0 formal outfits for men in the base game. I don't think that's right. Last up, this was really annoying, but the undo button wouldn't undo facial manipulations. This meant if I made a mistake, I had to correct it manually or be stuck with it. I had to start over on making one of my Sims because of this. Most people can put up with a few inconveniences if they love the game, but the points I'm about to bring up are the biggest reasons why I can't ever fully enjoy The Sims 4, especially when compared to The Sims 3. I think if you still play The Sims 3, you will already know what these points are. First is the removal of create a style. For those who don't know what this was, in The Sims 3, you can customize any piece of furniture or clothing with any color or material. Want a wooden shirt? You got it. Want a pink and orange couch? Done. I can understand the reasoning behind its removal though. They said it was too taxing on hardware. Very understandable when there's like 50 metals you can use for a t-shirt. I just ask why the option for a color wheel was not considered. Even more puzzling is that there is a color wheel for creating pets in the Cats and Dogs expansion. But yeah, the lack of a color wheel really hurts, especially when the presets for certain objects are just ugly. Next is the removal of the open world. The Sims 3's biggest selling point. Gone in The Sims 4. Gone are the days of going to map view and peeping in at the local park or at your neighbors. Gone are the days of taking your Sims car and watching them cruise across town to their destination. If you want to do something as simple as visiting your next door neighbor in The Sims 4, loading screen. Want to go to the park? Loading screen. Want to visit the bar with your date? Yep, another loading screen. Why would they go backwards on one of the best features from The Sims 3? It doesn't make sense. Now, the removal of the open world used to be my biggest reason I disliked The Sims 4, until I played the game again recently. Now, my biggest issue of The Sims 4 is that autonomy for the Sims is really bad and Sims love to constantly cancel actions. In one instance, I had to tell my Sim to wash the dishes 4 times before he actually did it. In the case of autonomy being bad, I had not 1, but 2 Sims die on me because they decided to go swimming while their energy need was low. That doesn't happen in The Sims 3. If you guys watch my Sims 3 Let's Plays, you will know I've never had a Sim die on me. So having 2 Sims die just shows how poor the autonomy is. Honestly, non-responsive Sims is now what comes to mind when I think of the biggest issue The Sims 4 has. So yeah, those are my reasons as to why I dislike The Sims 4. Let me know what points you agree and disagree with. Do you also hate The Sims 4? Or did I just bash your favorite game in the series? Anyways, if you guys do enjoy Sims-based content, I just started a brand new Sims 3 Let's Play, which I'll link in the end card. As always, I'm YellowNinja, and peace.
My ears.
What the fuck? I just hear ah. So I was originally going to insult the Sims 4 community, saying that they were a joke for putting up with less and encouraging EA by paying for their lackluster expansions. But then I realized that it's the same community that voted for laundry. What a joke!